The United States Navy has long been considered the most powerful naval force on Earth, unmatched in both technology and global reach. But in recent years, an interesting development has caught the attention of military analysts and naval strategists worldwide: China's naval expansion. With China now boasting the world's largest navy by ship count, it begs the question, how does the United States view this rise in naval power? And why isn't it particularly worried? Despite China's rapidly growing fleet, the U.S. Navy remains confident in its dominance. The reality is far more complex than simply counting ships, and the U.S. Navy's superiority lies in several key factors. The first and most obvious point is the sheer difference in quality over quantity. While China has made tremendous strides in building a large number of ships, especially surface combatants, they are still years behind the United States in terms of technological sophistication and capability. The U.S. Navy has been developing cutting-edge technology and advanced naval tactics for decades. For example, the U.S. Navy operates the world's largest fleet of nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, such as the USS Gerald R. Ford, which are designed to project power across the globe. These carriers are equipped with advanced radar systems, aircraft launch and recovery technologies, and defensive systems that China's carriers, despite their numbers, struggle to match. China's rapid naval expansion is impressive, but it still faces significant limitations in terms of blue water capabilities, the ability to operate effectively across the world's oceans. While China has increasingly focused on building a large fleet of ships, including destroyers, submarines, and frigates, many of these ships are designed primarily for regional operations and the defense of China's immediate maritime interests. The U.S. Navy, on the other hand, is designed for global power projection. The United States has the ability to deploy multiple carrier strike groups simultaneously around the world, making it impossible for any nation, including China, to challenge the U.S. Navy's ability to control critical choke points and global sea lanes. Another key factor is the United States' global network of allies. While China's Navy may outnumber the U.S. Navy's fleet in terms of ships, the U.S. maintains robust military alliances with NATO, Japan, South Korea, Australia, and others. This vast network allows the U.S. Navy to operate from multiple bases across the world, increasing its strategic flexibility. The U.S. can deploy ships to areas like the South China Sea, the Middle East, and the Pacific, while maintaining close coordination with allied naval forces. China, however, lacks the same level of global access and partnerships, limiting its ability to project power beyond its immediate region. Even if China has the largest navy by numbers, the U.S. Navy's extensive access to international waters and cooperation with allied nations gives it a considerable strategic advantage. Another area where the United States is far ahead of China is in the development and deployment of submarine technology. The U.S. Navy has a significant advantage in the field of nuclear-powered submarines, particularly ballistic missile submarines (SBMs), which are the backbone of the U.S. nuclear deterrent strategy. These submarines can remain submerged for months, capable of launching nuclear missiles while remaining undetected. The U.S. Navy's Virginia-class attack submarines are also some of the most advanced in the world, equipped with stealth capabilities, advanced sonar, and nuclear propulsion. In contrast, while China has expanded its submarine fleet in recent years, many of its submarines are still relatively noisy compared to their American counterparts, making them easier to detect. Furthermore, China's ballistic missile submarines are still in the process of being developed and deployed. And while they are becoming more advanced, they are not yet a direct threat to U.S. naval power. Furthermore, the U.S. Navy has a highly advanced defensive system that integrates radar, missile defense, and electronic warfare capabilities, all of which are critical for surviving in modern naval warfare. The Aegis combat system, for example, is an advanced radar and missile defense system used on destroyers and cruisers, allowing them to track and neutralize incoming threats at long range. China, while making strides in developing its own naval technologies, is still in the process of building up the same level of comprehensive defense systems. One of the most critical factors in maintaining U.S. naval superiority is the technological edge that the United States enjoys. The U.S. Navy invests heavily in research and development, and it is constantly looking for ways to enhance its combat effectiveness through innovations in AI, autonomous systems, and hypersonic weapons. For example, the U.S. Navy is testing directed energy weapons, like laser systems that can neutralize missiles and drones, providing a completely new method of defense that China does not yet possess. In addition, the United States is investing in unmanned systems for both surface and underwater operations, adding another layer of advanced capabilities to its arsenal. The nature of modern naval warfare has shifted in recent decades, and anti-ship missile technology is now at the forefront. Here too, the United States remains a step ahead. While China has developed impressive anti-ship missile systems, such as the DF-21D, the U.S. has extensive countermeasures and advanced missile defense systems to neutralize these threats. The U.S. Navy's ability to operate in contested environments like the South China Sea and Strait of Hormuz is due in large part to its overwhelming technological advantage in defensive capabilities. The key to understanding why the U.S. Navy isn't worried about China's large navy is the recognition that numbers alone do not determine naval dominance. While China's fleet may be larger, it still lacks the strategic reach, technological sophistication, and global alliances that the United States possesses. China's Navy is primarily focused on defending its regional interests, whereas the U.S. Navy is capable of global deployment and power projection, making it the dominant force on the world's oceans. Another significant factor is the nature of U.S. military doctrine. The U.S. Navy operates under a doctrine of force projection, meaning that it doesn't just defend American shores, it extends power to regions of strategic importance worldwide. China, on the other hand, is still working to refine its ability to project power far beyond its borders. Despite the rapid growth of China's Navy, the U.S. Navy's advantage lies in its technological superiority, global operational capability, and alliances. These factors ensure that even with a larger fleet, China is unlikely to challenge the U.S. Navy's dominance in the Pacific and beyond anytime soon. In the face of China's growing naval power, the United States will continue to invest in next-generation technologies, missile defense, and strategic partnerships to maintain its global naval supremacy.